welcome once again to the Just an Inside podcast. My name is Tim Birkbeck. I am a writer. I am a lover of films, music and wrestling, but most importantly of all, I am your body and vehicle through this podcast. After the double header that we had last week, resuming normal play this week, but before we get into this week's episode, just going to have a quick rundown of my week past. Took my mum to the theatre to see Sister Act at the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton, which starred X Factor finalist winner Alexandra Burke, and it was really good actually. It was really entertaining. I was a bit sceptical going into it because everyone knows Alexandra Burke's got an incredible voice, but didn't really know what her acting ability was going to be like. But it was really cool. It was really entertaining, really funny. And if I'm going to be honest, it was nice spending an evening with my mum. Don't really get to do it that often, so yeah, that was pretty cool. Obviously, we had the elections. Not going to really say much about that because, as I've said several times before, this is not a political podcast, and I have way too much political talk in all the coverage that I did for my work. So yeah, less said about that, the better, to be honest. Apart from that, just been chilling, really. Currently watching the New Japan Dominion event, which took place on Sunday morning / evening if you live in Japan. Time wise is weird. It's been really cool so far. I'm literally just up to the Naito match, which we're really looking forward to because I fucking love Naito. So we'll probably watch that, and then the main event, which is the rematch between Kenny Omega and Okada, whilst this episode is loading to the interwebs. Speaking of this week's episode, my guests are the Kettering trio known as Let It Die. I've been friends with these guys for years now. I actually ended up putting on their very first show in Portsmouth, which is kind of odd considering they don't live anywhere near the city I live in, but they're good friends. They came down and played a show with my brothers and a few of my friends' old band Senator, and that was their first show. But we realised before we started recording, apart from the vocalist Red, I hadn't actually seen Ben or Alex in the band for well over a year, so it's really cool to catch up with those guys, have a chat. Unfortunately, I was using my old recorder, as this was actually recorded ages ago, so it's one of the actually earlier episodes I recorded. So we were sat in a really busy pub in the middle of Brighton, so you do get a lot of background noise, unfortunately. So I've tried my best to edit it out and make it as audible as possible in the editing process, but yeah, there's still some background noise, so I do apologise for that, but hopefully you can hear what's going on and get the gist of the conversation. I'm sure you'll still enjoy the chat I have with the guys, so please sit back, listen to the chat I have with Let It Die, and I'll see you on the other side. Right, cool. I am joined by Red, Ben and Alex, the trio that is known as Let It Die at Washed Out Festival in Brighton. How is everyone?
Awesome, right?
Good. Yeah, had some food.
Too many chips
in a little bucket, and they weren't that good.
Where did you all go?
We went to V-Bites Cafe.
Is that the place that's literally just down the road?
Yeah, it's really nice, but the chips were not great.
I made a mistake of having free dinner
Free dinner ice cream.
free dinner vegan gelato. Yeah, and then that cost me, I think.
Dear. You're gonna need to poo before you go on stage.
So basically, the name of the little show that I do is called Just an Insight. So basically, I like to go straight back to the beginning of when you guys formed. Obviously, Ben and Al, I know that you were in Jealous before. Red, I don't really know where you appeared from. So how did Let It Die come to be?
Okay, so so obviously Alex and I were in Jealous, and Red was in a band called You Suck, and just so it happened that You Suck disbanded at the same time.
We met. Well, I knew Jealous anyway because they were from my hometown band, but Alex recorded and produced the You Suck demo cassette, and then so he knew what I was doing at that point, and then we sort of all dissolved within about a month and a half of each other.
We used to see it at shows and stuff, and we just kind of knew each other anyway.
And by the last Jealous practice, you already decided that you wanted to do a new band, and probably asked me.
Yeah, I'd already just decided, like, let's start a new band with Red, before even asking Red if he wanted to.
Pretty much.
The phone call when Jealous ended was like me and you were on the phone. It was like, so I think that's it then. And we were like, should we do something else? Like straight away. And then we turned up at the next practice and just started like playing together.
So like was it not so much a continuation of Jealous, the stuff that you were writing, or was it like a fresh start?
Well,
there is the first song. The very first song that Les I did is a Jealous.
It was
something I'd written kind of for Jealous. And then
I think that at that point, we decided on that's done, but it was kind of in a different style. In a different style anyway. So.
But there wasn't too much carryover. No. I think everything else after that was written specifically for Let It Die. Obviously, the first stuff still had a bit of what Jealous was doing at the end, just because that's what the mode you were writing in.
Well, I think and we were sort of listening to, like, we started getting into like Black Breath, and things like that, and so it was like a lot more metaler than Jealous was, and then like we would listen to like a bit of power violence, and you said we're a power violence band as well.
That's why Red comes in.
So
these guys were writing more of the hardcore punky kind of stuff. And then I was like, just add more blast beats wherever possible. Please.
Well, I think, like, from my perspective, because obviously I knew you guys from Jealous, and I think I've said this to you before, Al, like, for the stuff you're doing now, like, it's like blast beat was just insane. So, like, was that, like, as Red said, was that a case of, like, you were writing stuff and he was just like, nah, just do it faster kind of thing?
I don't know. It was quite organic, really.
It was, But I was always pushing for that.
When we came to doing the album, it was all like we would write something, wouldn't we? And then you'll sit there practically going, do you want to be really good? What, blast beats? And it's like, okay.
You should do a song that's just blast beats all the way through. I think I heard.
There was a song that had. There was like 90% blast beat, so unfortunately we had to cut half of it out because we couldn't quite keep up the speed for the entire section, which is a shame.
And then another kind of weird way that we all know each other, obviously I put on your guys' first show, so from that kind of initial first show to where you are now, like, what's kind of been the way that you've progressed? Like, has there been kind of a direction that you guys have wanted to head, or is it, as you said, Alex, everything just kind of come naturally?
I think it is pretty organic. Like, I mean, we sort of chat about different styles, that we might want to incorporate into songs, but there's never been like a real plan of how.
But Ben has a really not like rigid but very distinct style of writing riffs, and like I can instantly tell when he is sort of when he's got an idea that he's really into. It's a Ben riff. Personally, for me, like I just push for as extreme as possible in both directions, slow and fast. So more blast beats, and then also if there's a slow section, just fucking slow it down, make it half time. But it's not like a conscious let's do a song like this. It's just if it feels right playing it even slower, we will play it even slower.
Most of the songs are written. It's like I turn up at practice with something that's sort of like half written, and then sort of like we nail it out between the three of us. And off that way.
Every now and then I'll throw in a riff.
If there's a beat down, I probably wrote it,
or at least hummed it.
Yeah, I hummed it. Definitely.
It's pretty good, like the way I think it comes out.
Because obviously back in the sort of the early days, obviously you had a bass player. So when obviously Dean kind of left and things, was it a case of finding a replacement, or was it just that you wanted to go in that direction as a three?
We just pretty much immediately decided, we can just do it without.
There was probably a couple of minutes of practice where it was considered like maybe because I'm a bassist. There was definitely like sort of an and an on my part where I could possibly do it, and I'm like, well, I can't sing and play bass.
This was the thing, actually. Originally, going back to when Jealous ended and Yusuck ended, because Red was playing guitar and Yusuck and singing. I kind of thought, Red can play bass and sing. But it didn't actually end up being like
the reason I could do it in Yusuck was because there was very little fiddly shit. Because it was just fast grind, fast power violence stuff. It's just tremolo picking. And I can do that, but when there's actual riffs and I have to concentrate on notes, I can't do it unless I sing exactly what I'm playing with my right hand. So there was maybe a few minutes where I thought, I should probably see if I could try and learn this, but then it was just like, no, we don't need it. We're loud enough anyway. We just had enough rounds.
We're already like running two amps for guitar, so it was just a case of, how can we just run a third one for bass? What pedals do we need to get to make it work? And
there was hardly any discussion, was there?
That was it.
Weird.
The thing as well, it would have been weird, I think, to get someone else in. Obviously, because Dean was in Jealous as well, and we had been playing with him by that time for like 6 years, something like that. And when he left, it wasn't so much as we'll replace him; it was just we'll just carry on. Because there's not really anyone about. Kettering, there's not really anyone about.
There's nobody in our town. There's a couple of people with the heavier music, but there's nobody with the right kind of sensibility to be in a band with us. I don't think there's nobody outside of these two locally. I know people who attend music, but I don't associate with them. I don't. They're not friends, really. They're just people I see in the street, and I'm like, alright, that's it.
So stuck up.
I am. I refuse to associate with them. No, it's just there's just nobody else around that we would feel comfortable having in. I don't think it would just be weird.
And so, I know obviously, I think we've spoken about this before. Obviously, from you guys coming from Kettering, there not really being a scene there as such. Has that kind of hindered you to an extent of getting out and playing shows? Because
not really.
No.
I think our first show was in in the same venue and room as the last Jealous show.
Completely forgot about that.
So Jealous ended there. Let It Die began there. So
dude taking a piss outside.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
It hasn't really hindered us.
We've never really had a problem just driving off for a couple of hours.
So
anywhere. So
I think it helps.
We don't play a massive amount of shows, but I don't think that's anything to do with the fact that.
We just have lots of. It's life. We play as much as we can. But
I suppose if we say we were from Brighton, we probably would play more shows locally. We wouldn't be playing more shows. Out of that.
And with kind of the live shows that you guys play, I think you always seem to play with varied bands. So you can play with anything from a beatdown band to power violence, grindcore stuff. Do you feel that that kind of sets you apart, that you can slip into those kind of bills, or is it a case that you're trying to win over different audiences in your views?
I think we just play. I think
happy to play anything we're offered to a point. Sometimes if there's other bands that we really, maybe.
I think one of the things when I'm sort of looking at shows or trying to find shows or someone asks us, the main consideration for me first is ideology. If I see a show and I see a band I know that either have lyrics that I don't agree with or people that I know are just not in my sphere. So political or that kind of thing, then that's a big consideration. But we're just very lucky that we know a lot of people who are very similar thought-wise to us, and pretty much all of those people happen to be in a band or putting shows on or something. So it's quite easy to play.
It's quite nice, I think, to play on varying venues. We see loads of different bands.
Definitely.
I think if you play with the same people all the time, it gets a bit boring. It's quite good to play with. Today, playing with you guys and stuff. It's people that we haven't probably seen for over a year. And the last show we played, we've dragged in Sunlight and Dawn Raid and that. You know, we played with the guys from Dawn Raid when they were in We Came Like Tigers a couple of times. We played with them for like about a year again. So it's just nice for it to keep coming around. Seeing people sort of again.
I don't think we consciously try to slip into different audiences. It's just if we can play the show and we're happy to do it, then whatever. You know, we get a good reaction sometimes, and then sometimes you get then you get just a complete nonplussed reaction. It doesn't really matter. Who cares?
And obviously, you mentioned about like sort of the limited kind of shows you play, and obviously, like Ben, obviously I know you've got a kid now, and obviously you've all got sort of full-time jobs and things. But do you find that, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I kind of see you guys, but whenever I see you guys are playing a show, people seem to make the effort to want to go and see you. Because, well, as I say, it might be the way that I kind of view it, but because where you don't play often, people will think, oh, sick, let it die again.
Yeah, no, actually, that's kind of fair.
I'd rather be a band that people, you know, knew maybe that they weren't necessarily going to get another chance to see us.
Like, every 2 or 3 weeks or whatever.
So, I'd rather be a band that people really wanted to see when they come around, rather than thinking that, I'll catch them next time.
Yeah, that's nice. Especially because we don't have anything around our area. We have to travel quite a bit. It makes it more worthwhile, even if there's only like 5 people there who you know want to see you. That makes it a bit more. It just makes it more worthwhile. You know, whereas if you're playing to a show, yes, it might be quite a few people there, but if they're not that bothered about you, it's just like, oh, okay, well.
But it's nice, isn't it? Like we'll play for example, we'll play Manchester, and you'll think, oh, brilliant, like so and so is in Manchester, we'll see them, and then oh, we're playing in like Birmingham, oh great, so and so lives in Birmingham, we'll see them there. Like it's nice, like going around visiting different people.
It's nice to know that some people make an effort to come here, especially.
It is nice.
And again, that kind of on the same point, that the kind of relationship and within the sort of the DIY scene that kind of you guys have built, do you think that that's kind of helped you as well, that you can go to certain cities and, like, say for instance if you were doing a weekend or something, you could think, right, I'll speak to this person in Manchester, like that you've got not a comfort blanket, but you have that security to an extent. It's
easier, certainly. We know people in most places. You know, sometimes it's not possible to get a show there, but because even if we don't know someone in a place, we know someone who can recommend someone or recommend a venue to try. It's not easy, but it's easier. Yeah, definitely.
And something I did want to talk about is obviously the record that came out tail end of last year. Obviously, I've seen you read a few times here and there, but as I said, Ben and I think it's been over a year since I've seen you guys, and I think every time I saw you probably got a bit annoyed at me saying, when's the record coming out, when's the record coming out? But when it finally came out, was it kind of a weight off the shoulders kind of feeling that it was finally out there? And was there a bit of tentativeness that it was out there, that you didn't know how it was going to be received?
I mean, sort of momentarily it was kind of like, well, we've been sort of working on it for a pretty long time, really, like writing songs and also after the recording process there was quite a long wait for like the last bits to come together. And then obviously just like the standard length of time waiting for pressing.
We recorded it and then we took 6 months out because you had a kid. So that was a large chunk of
yeah, we've had it, you know, pretty much ready for quite a while. So when it was released, there was a moment of like, well, now we have to wait and see if anybody else thinks it's any good at all. But I think it's had. I mean, everything I've seen has been really positive. It's been really kind of like.
I'm pleased about it.
I think the wait was, for us on our side, I think the wait was definitely worth it. It sounds how we wanted it to sound. I went through waves with it, like, because it took so long, and then when we took the 6 months out, it was like there was periods where I didn't care about it. Like I didn't want to hear it anymore because we've been playing the songs for so long. And you know, some musicians say it, but you know, there was some. I just didn't want to hear some of the stuff anymore. But then, even before we'd released it, when we sort of came back after Astrid was born, it was like we started playing those songs again, and maybe it was just the time away from them, but I was thinking that then in the lead up to it I was actually more confident than I had been even previously.
Yeah, so when the release show, it was like I was really excited for that release show.
Yeah, the release show
was just weird because some of the songs we have been playing a lot of them live anyway before the album came out, but then the release show, it was almost like, okay, now we can play some that we've been holding back for. I was really excited to see how that would go down.
From your point of view, Red, as a vocalist, because with that kind of break almost, obviously some of those lyrics were probably written ages ago.
Yeah, some of those lyrics were written nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah, so were you worried that they wouldn't have the same kind of impact when you first initially wrote them and they wouldn't necessarily mean the same, or was there like a general theme that you had with the album?
It's weird, like half of the album is... This is the first time I've ever written like specific introspective lyrics.
Yeah.
I'd never done that before, but there was, you know, like going through the writing process, there was things that were happening in my life that made me turn to that. And I was a little bit apprehensive about writing them because I don't know, sometimes when I read like introspective lyrics, they feel a little bit like, you know, the person putting it forward is like presumptuous that everybody wants to read what they have to say in regards to themselves, which can be seen as a little bit pushy, and I was wondering if people would see that, but most of it is still relevant. There's not really anything there that's out of date or anything, because it was the first time doing stuff specifically about me. It was like stuff that's general.
Yeah,
you know, there wasn't really anything. It wasn't about a specific event necessarily they're inspired by, but it's just feelings in general. So, and then the other half is more sort of outward looking lyrics and a little bit more esoteric, which I think, they don't really have sort of a date on them. So I think everything's still relevant. I still believe in all the lyrics I have on there. I still, even though it's such a long time. Again, I think because I started I'd go in peaks and troughs. So I'd be really into it, and then I'd be like, nope, don't like that, don't like the lyrics, don't like the song. But it just comes back around. I've come back around to being like, it's fine having them on there now. Like, I struggled with whether to print them or not.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether I wanted to actually print the lyrics or not, and I was like, well, it seems silly to have the opportunity and the space not to print them, so just went and did it, and they're still relevant, definitely, and I still have the same passion behind singing them. So that's handy. I haven't.
The world doesn't change as quickly as you think either. Like I've listened to albums and bands from like 20 years ago, and their lyrics, they could have been written now. The same topics are still relevant.
This is, it's cliche to say, but it's aggressive music, and you're going to have aggressive themes and lyrics involved in that, and now, 20 years in the future, 200 years ago, hate, anger, pain, all those things are exactly the same. So
the same injustices.
So unless you're writing, unless you're for some reason specifically writing lyrics with dates in them, I think you're going to be all right. I'm still into my lyrics now. I've come back around, and I'm actually more proud than I was before. So
And with the writing process itself, like, how do you guys kind of work? Is it a case that
you'll come up with riffs and drum fills, and then you'll just place the lyrics as top, or you come forward and say, I've got these lyrics, I want to do a song around that, and then things build that way?
Most of the time a song is done.
Doing music first.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, you'll have lyrics that you've written and you'll kind of fit them
Mold
into
them for a song.
that does your writing. But I don't think we've ever
written to lyrics.
To the lyrics and done it that way.
No. It gets. I like to find out what I need. For me, I'm quite organised. I need to know what space I've got in a song.
I get you.
It's not that I sit down and the song's done and I sort of like force lyrics into it. I will write some lyrics, and if I can make them fit into the space of the song.
Yeah.
I like to have a demo to record it to sit and listen to make those things fit.
Yeah.
Whereas, we never fit a song to lyrics. Occasionally there'll be a song that I'll get like lyrics to as we're writing, but most of the time I like to have it done and be able to sit down and cut things out and shuffle things around. It makes it more comfortable for me because I know my limitations as a vocalist, and I'll hear things at practice and be like, oh, I could do that, and then I'll sit down and listen to it, I'm like, I can't do that. I absolutely cannot hold a note for that long, so I have to sit down and listen to it and rework what I.
And then there's all like those little finishing touches. So when you've got your lyrics, and then we'll play through the song, say when we've got all the music down and you've got the lyrics down, and then you'll be like, oh, I'll cut that bit out there because that's not good. And we might say, oh, it'd be really cool if you did a bit in that bit.
Everybody helps. It's just how it is. It's a very democratic thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we find places for you to do a bit of a part. A bit of a part.
Little bit.
Pretty good.
Bit of pirate vocals.
Going back to the album itself, is there kind of any sort of particular themes that kind of ran through it, or was it just a case of a body of work that kind of came together?
When we first sort of started, when it sort of started to look like an album, I did have a concept, but I found that I was like trying too hard to get that, to push that concept through in the lyrics, and then I thought, I've already got a bunch of lyrics, I'll throw those over instead, and it worked better that way. Like, there's not really one thing.
I think it was written over quite a long period of time. So like some of the songs on it, like for example like 100 Days, that was written at the same time as the songs on the split from Monolithic were written. So, and that was sort of like, we had the 3 songs and that was sort of excluded from that split, the other 2 on it, so we've had that song for ages, long time. So it wasn't, it would have been difficult, I think, to hold a theme for that.
Exactly, I guess, I got to a point where I was just pushing it too hard. I need to stop, because it would be nice to write something with a bit more cohesion, but I don't think this band is built for that. Each song is well, it's us. It's slightly different. I don't think a theme would be necessary. If a theme came along, fair enough. But even though I write the lyrics, I still would want to check with these guys that they would be into what, and if it came as organically as the music does, then fair enough. But other than that, not really. It's just kind of they read the lyrics and they go, yep, that's alright. Sure.
And the other thing that's on the album, so you've got a couple of guest spots. Obviously, Sammy from Employed to Serve / Renounced / every other band in the world, and obviously John from Weekend Nachos. So obviously I know Sammy kind of is a mainstay in the UK scene, but how did the relationship for both those to get featured on the album come about?
With Sammy, we wrote that song, and there was the end bit, and we were like, that needs a stupid solo on there. I think I kind of ran out of lyrics, and I was like, well, I could repeat something, but it's just like the riff under it was kind of a bit more punky and simpler, and it was just like, that needs something on top. So, and we couldn't do it. We do a solo ourselves.
You see, like when we play it live, it feels really empty because that solo's not there. Every time I'm playing it, I've got a solo in my head. I'm playing it. Like, this sounds wicked. It's still in my head.
Sometimes in practice, I'll fill in the solo with my mouth. But it doesn't. And then John from Weekend Nachos is in real life one of my best friends.
Oh, okay.
I've known him for about nearly 10 years now.
Okay, cool.
So it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck it. We wrote this song that was very influenced by Nachos anyway, it's fair to say. And I was just like, I'll ask him, and he was super happy, and then...
Because was it almost kind of like a return in the favour? Because obviously you're featured on their record.
Well, kind of. It would be the other way around.
Oh, okay.
We had Punish written, and I had the lyrics written before, and I asked him, and I said, "Oh, would you be on this song?" He was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Just let me know when you're recording it, and I'll record my vocals." And then because it took so long for us to do the album, and then we had the break, it was like 2 years between asking him and then it actually happening. And by that point, they were ready to release Apology, and they were recording it, and he said, "Do you want to be on our record?" I said, "Yeah, okay then." And Apology came out before ours. So yeah, it was technically the other way around, but yeah, that was pretty crazy.
And another thing that you guys are kind of known for, quote unquote, is being like just stupidly loud every time you play. And I think as the records have kind of gone, you've kind of got louder and louder. Is that just because like you want to be the heaviest band that are on the bill, or is it just your guitar tone and that's the way?
We don't want to be the heaviest band. We want to be the loudest.
Yeah.
Band. Like, if I play with the bands and they're louder than us, I don't like it. I think also it's come about because Alex, like when you play, really hits the drums. Like hard. The loud drummer. So almost like I've had to turn my guitars up to sort of match that. I mean, even when we were in Jealous, I used to think we were quite loud, just because you would play quite hard, and I would have to keep turning it up to play over.
Just nods.
So in this band, I think with the guitar tone as well, that like adds to this volume.
It's kind of we have a lot of we do a lot of feedback. We have a very kind of abrasive guitar tone, often mistaken for HM2. No HM2 is involved.
I swear I saw somewhere written that it was HM2.
The reviews of the album said HM2.
It's a similar kind of sound, but it's not an HM2 or an HM2 clone. But yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's just louder is better.
It's better, and there's so many times. I think that for me, it's one of two things. One, there's so many times you go to a show and you listen to a band, and like I think it could have been really good if the guitars were louder. If the guitarist turned up, those riffs would have shone a lot more, and I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So it's playing with bands, like just seeing so many bands playing with bands who just don't turn up loud enough for me. I can't. I'm like, where the fuck is this? I can hear kick drum and bass, and I need, the guitar. And
you need to hear the riffs off.
Especially as we only have the guitar. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear it. And also, I think it's also born on the fact that Ben's a little bit deaf. Because he hasn't worn earplugs properly. Ever. So if he can't quite hear it, he just fucking turns up anyway.
There's nothing worse, I think, as well when you're playing live as a guitarist and you'll be stood on stage, and I mean I have arguments with sound guys like pretty much every venue.
I can't remember where it was, but I remember you getting really angry with the sound guy because he kept turning you down.
I hate it. So a lot of the time if we play anywhere and I see the amps are mic'd up, I tell the sound guy, like, don't bother, I'll just do it myself. And that seems to have worked. I haven't had a lot of arguments about it recently.
For me as well, it's the worst thing for me is playing a show and not being able to hear the guitar. I mean, even sometimes with a venue when you've got a monitor, you still don't hear it as loud as I want to hear it. Like for me to actually be able to feel the songs like the way I want to feel it.
That's what I'm saying.
I need it to be loud on stage.
There's nothing worse than playing a live show and you can hear your strings. Like just the dry strings, because the sound guy's got it blaring out the PA in front of you and the speakers, but you can't hear it on stage. You can just hear ching, 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 ching. It's like, that's horrible. I hate that. It's like the worst thing. It's really like, it's kind of selfish, but I don't really give a shit. As long as it's good for me, that's all I care about.
Part of the reason as well that we kind of, I think we prefer playing smaller shows. Like you know, if we can play a show where there's no stage involved, that's the best. Like you know, house shows, very small venues,
Stages
because
are
then
they're really horrible.
it's just. As far as I mean, I think this is probably the same for a lot of people. But as far as people on the stage playing are concerned, it's better to be in a smaller place.
Yeah. And but just being in a small place feels like more suited to us and the type of bands we play with and the type of level that we're playing at. Like, I don't know about you, but when I play and I have to, like, most of the time if there is a stage, I get away with standing on the floor anyway. But if I absolutely have to stand on the stage, like, part of me feels like I don't deserve it. Like I shouldn't be up on the fucking stage. I'm just playing in a metal band.
It's kind of like it's a hardcore thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The people in the crowd and the people on stage
Exactly,
are the same people.
There's no, especially as most of the people in the crowd are often friends. And it's like I shouldn't be up here, like, be on some kind of weird pedestal. I'm just in a really loud metal band, and everyone should be enjoying themselves equally. So it's just being loud. And again, for me, I know if I'm in the audience, I want it to be loud. So if I'm going to be in a band making noises, I want that to be loud as well. So that's pretty much it.
And I know obviously the album was finally kind of out at the end of the year, and you did it obviously self-released. Was there kind of a reason behind that? Because I don't know, like, again, it might just be my perspective, but I think you could have easily gone with a label. So was there a reason why you decided to self-release it?
It was I would say mostly born out of necessity.
Okay.
Like I did talk to a couple of labels, but either they weren't interested or they couldn't do it due to finance or just being busy. And I was like, I could chase labels forever. I could chase so many people forever. You know, we had positive responses from people, but I could spend all my time emailing people. When yes, it's expensive to release something yourself. You know, there's no doubt it's expensive to press stuff and print and whatever. But at the end of the day, I like the control. I like the control aspect of it. I like not having to. It's not even a fucking money thing. It's just I like knowing where my product is, where it's going, and who and how it's going out there. Like there's people, you know, who sign to labels and they get everything done and it's great. It's great for them. But I just don't think it's for us really. We're all in agreement. I think
with this album, I think we all it came to a stage where we all sat down and we all just pretty much agreed, like, what offers we were getting, it wasn't kind of like what we wanted anyway. And then like the commitment wasn't like we wanted more control over our own album than if we had necessarily gone with a label we would have been able to. So when we decided to self-release it was kind of like a relief in a way.
It was a weight off because we knew what we were doing then. You know? And if there was any delays or anything wrong, we could sort it.
With all of our things we've released, even when we've worked with other labels, we have been involved in the release ourselves. We've put our own money in and you know, been responsible for selling the record ourselves. So it's just kind of an extension of that, really.
And I know obviously the album ended up taking a long time to go for, but is there any plans at the moment for new material, tours or anything like that, or is it just early stages?
We've got one song that was written and then we didn't practice for 3 weeks and then Ben forgot it. So we're gonna
I've got it back a little bit.
We're gonna try and rewrite that one. We want to.
There's a couple of songs.
Working, and I've got like a couple of sets of lyrics kicking around that I've written while I've been at work. So
I do the same.
So there is, you know, we're going to release something else. We're talking about possibly doing like an EP thing. We're not doing another album because that would just take forever.
Well, maybe we will in 3 years.
But I don't know. We're just writing some songs to see what happens. Really. we're doing.
Write some songs and then bring it out when it.
When it happens.
No, I think that's kind of the cool things about you guys. I know, like, obviously everyone kept kind of making the joke that your record would never come out, but like, you do things on your own time, and that's all that matters. And the way that I like to end these is I ask each member, like, is there a particular song that you like to play live, and is there a song that you find that crowds respond to best? So, Red, if I start with you, like, what's your personal favourite and one that you feel the crowd responds to?
Well, I mean, our answer will be the same for the latter part of that, because everybody seems to like Torture. I mean, that's such an old song now, and like,
on the album.
it's not even on the album, but people still like it, so that's fine. I still get a kick out of that, because it's like it's weird. It's a song that's it's a little bit different for us, actually.
Yeah.
That riff is not sort of particularly something we put on.
Yeah.
You know, so people love that. I don't know. I really like playing. Oh, what do I like playing? I like playing Punish. Punish is great.
Yeah.
Just because it's silly. It's so. Yeah, it's just stupidly slow and fun, and yeah, I like that one. I don't know, I'm proud of the whole album. Like, the whole thing is great. But yeah, probably Punish. It's a challenge for me as well to sing that one, because I have to cover John's parts of the lyrics, so I'm doing a lot of lyrics all in one, and I try my best every time with that one to not miss things. It's kind of a personal thing. People probably don't even notice, but yeah, it's kind of fun to play. I do like the end of the A side, "Oh Daring Dumb Metuan," because again, that's a slightly different song for us. It's got a couple of little bits in there that we've never really done before. That's fun, and I think that song goes hard. So I think hopefully more people will get it in their heads and recognise the songs when we start playing them live.
Cool. Ben, yourself?
Okay, so I think other people like Torture, like you said. I would like other people to like. I think Punish. I think when people get to know it a bit better, the one that John's on, and also the same, the one that's at the end of Sodwin. I can't ever pronounce it.
Daring Dumb Metuan.
Because that's got a pretty sort of like hard riff at the end. But I think when people get to know him more, they'll like him. Personally, my favourite song to play is probably 100 Days. Which is like, in our set at the minute, it's the first sort of real song after like release, which is like the intro track. It's the first song that kicks in, and it's the first song that kicks on the album. Because I don't know, it just starts with 2 like snare shots, and it's just ridiculously quick the whole way past, and it's just really good. Yeah.
Cool.
And
so I reckon I've never really thought of this. I'm terrible for this. I don't actually do favourites a lot in life generally, but thinking about it, I reckon probably Pathetic is my favourite to play, which is I think it's kind of like pretty damn short. It's got a lot of different things going on, and I just enjoy playing it.
That's fair enough.
We've been playing that for
a long time, but I still
it still stands up.
And obviously, everybody likes Torture.
It's just that last bit. It's just killer. But
I don't think it's that good a riff.
He doesn't like it anymore.
I just think, like, because I'm going to be biased, it's the one that I fucking love, and I just think it's because it's like you hear Red scream and then it's just straight into that. I don't know.
I don't even remember writing that. I don't even remember.
I'll tell you how it got written. It got written after we'd done something with Witch Cult, and I remember watching Kurt playing guitar, and I remember seeing how he like doubled up riffs. So the fast bit at the start, it's like one way through, and then it's like doubled up. And I totally ripped that off Kurt. And then the riff at the end, I think it was just wanted like a mosh riff, didn't it? But I don't think it's that good a mosh riff.
No, it's not. But it just gets people in the field.
Perfect. Brilliant. Guys, thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
We'll go watch Never.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
folks. Thanks again to Red, Ben and Alex for their time. And again, apologies for the background noises during the chat. As I said, really busy bar. It was a Saturday afternoon in the middle of Brighton, so there wasn't really anywhere else we could go, unfortunately. But hopefully you can kind of get the gist of what the guys were saying. Leia Dye are actually playing a show in London with Canvas pretty soon, and the Boston Music Rooms are playing on June 25th. So if you're going to that show, make sure you go check them out. As always, you can keep up to date with the band over on Facebook, which is facebook.com/LeiaDye. You can keep up to date with this show over on Twitter, which is at @just_and_insight, using the hashtag JAIPod. You can let us know what you think of the show, let us know who you think we should have on the show, or just general feedback, or just a general chat. It'd be nice to hear from you guys. Next week we've got another WWE pay-per-view discussion. This one is one of my favourite pay-per-views of the year. It's Money in the Bank, so really looking forward to that. And obviously we've got the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match as well, so yeah, really cool stuff going on with that show, and hopefully it lives up to expectations. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining me on the Just an Insight podcast, and I will see you soon.